What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Oh, let them play the violin. Let them play the violin, my guys, man. We got to get him off in here, man. My guy Shark, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We here. We doing a double show today, man. It is what it is. Just trying to get as much info, as much betting insight, right, Shark? First, I wanted to ask you, how are you doing, my guy?
Fantastic. I've been saying it for about 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm going to get my background set up. So it's officially NBA season. It is December 1st, 2021. December is for domination. And I'm not just saying that to get some positive vibes going. This is when the NBA gets really good. We get schedule scaling. We get revenge spots. We really get to see where teams are moving within their calendar. And, one snapshot point, we will talk about this for a period of time here. A lot of teams are going to make a lot of movement in this month. There are some significant playoff teams that have to move up. And, of course, we're moving up in a positive direction in this chat. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Welcome to NBA Talk with Shark and Jay NBA Payday. Jay Money, talk to me. What's going on, brother?
Man, chilling, bro. Chilling. Went live earlier. Obviously, there was a ton of injuries. You see what I'm saying? I just wanted to talk about it at first. I know I was kind of ranting on Twitter. I just wanted to talk with my guy here, another great NBA mind, guys. Just the NBA is just a different league these days. Obviously, the injury report manipulation. Some guys are actually on the injury report, but then you see guys like Paul George like resting for no reason. I'm just saying, just as a fan, you see what I'm saying? There's people that's paying money for this. People spending money on jerseys, all this, paying to come to games. People might drive 6-8 hours to come to a game to see these superstars, and they sitting out. I'm looking at, there's no back-to-back, no front-end back-to-back. They are in a 5-game to 7-game stretch, but what, these guys can't play 82 games, Shark? I mean, you look at it, you break down how much these guys get paid to their game checks. It's some of these guys, especially like Paul George, it's like $200,000 a game. Are you kidding me, man? You can't suit up and play, even if there's reduced minutes, Shark. I'm just on a little rant here, but I feel like these guys could at least play reduced minutes or something, bro. Come to play for the fans. Be passionate about the game. The guys that I know in the 90s, they would play for free, bro. They wouldn't even play for money. If we playing open gym and they're playing hard, they're just competitive, hate to ever lose. It's the dying breed, bro. I just want to talk about just how the league has changed, Chart. What you thinking, my guy?
I think it's multifaceted. I think the first thing about it, of course, load management did start off, I believe, with Greg Popovich. He would sit his guys. It was Duncan. It was Parker. It was Ginobili, these boys. And the backups would just cover games. And, of course, back then, Sean Puffy Combs was still Sean Puffy Combs. He was not P. Diddy, I don't think. And don't check me on that. But it is Bad Boy Records. And it is going down in a suddenly not so casual way.
We hear, Shark. It's just buffering just a tad, my guys. It's buffering a tad, man. But we're gonna be all right, Shark. We back. Now, what you saying?
And I think that Pop is an innovator. He's obviously.
Let me see. Damn, man. I'm sorry. I know my guy dropping off the fire too, bro. I'm sorry, Shark. Look, I'm just gonna remove you real one time and then come back, Shark. Damn, I know what he's saying. This shit started with Greg Popovich, obviously with Kawhi Leonard. I'm just gonna pick it up from my guy. He will be back, my guy. It's just some little internet connections. No Junior shit over here. You see what I'm saying? We big dogs over here, but no, Junior's a big dog in himself. He's a big dog, but it's just jokes, man. It's just jokes. Let's get my guy back in here. Shark.
Yo, we're in there now.
You say you're going to just do it with the phone or what?
Absolutely. We make adjustments in this world we live in. And we'll be uninterfered. And again, for people in the chat, we appreciate the hell out of you guys. Internet is just a sketchy thing. I mean, I just attached an Ethernet cord. I have good Wi-Fi. We don't know what's going on. We will figure it out. But anyway, continuing on that thought, Pop is an innovator, 100%. He's a leader of coaches, GMs. I think he actually leads the minds of a lot of the coach or the owners as well. Of course, the owners do play their own game in professional sports. Billionaires, oftentimes in the corporate world, not having anything to do with professional sports. But when Pop started resting his guys, the league followed that. And of course, LeBron took it to a higher level. And now it's just a generational thing where the guys that are playing in the league now, I mean, these guys were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old when this started. So they were born with it just as much as 20-year-olds now were born with a cell phone in their hand. And they don't think anything about it. They think this is just how it goes. And in their mind, I mean, I don't disagree. If I was born in a certain window and this is all I ever saw, that would be my status quo. But in terms of it being right or wrong, I've talked about this all the time. I work out at a really high level, and I'm 36 years old. I am more pliable, fit, faster, and stronger than I was when I was 21. You look at a guy like Tom Brady, you look at a guy like LeBron James being a better example, obviously turning 37, I believe, in this month. This guy can run, he can jump. He is just as athletic as your average 18-year-old in this country. And to that point, 82 games across 365 days is not really a toil point. You're not really burning out your body, particularly in NBA basketball. This is not NFL football. They are cruising. And, without being too long-winded on it, it is just bad for the sport. It's bad with the fans. It creates a lack of trust. And really at the furthest point of it, their lack of transparency within it waiting to the last, hour or two before the game is total, utter corruption of the brand in the league. It's brutal.
No, I'm with you on that. And just real quick, I'd like to say, I know that the guys they were younger or whatever, but just take it back like this. This is what I was saying to my girl earlier, right? If these guys are, even if they were younger, you see what I'm saying? Just take yourself out of your own shoes and look at things from a different vantage point. I really do think it'd be a better world if more people did that. If you're a little kid going to a game and you've bought tickets, even if it's a few days out, you get to the game and you figure out that the star player's out. Like if I go to a Mavs game, Luka's out. No, I'm causing all type of hell. Like I came to do this. So I just said, even the players put themselves in a little kid's shoes, even when they were kids, no matter whether they saw Popovich or whatever, they still grew up watching guys like Kobe, maybe even Jordan. Those guys didn't miss games for any type of bullshit. You even see Kobe still shooting the last free throw on a torn Achilles, man. So Kobe played injured all the time. Broken finger, put a cast on that shit and let's go and ball, man. So only thing I'm saying, things used to be a lot more pure with a lot of different things, man. I'd like to use Kobe as an example because the guy was hard-nosed. If you don't want to practice hard, get off my fucking team, man. I would have loved playing with guys like that, just passionate. I tell you this, Kobe would play for free and still go out there and kick your ass, man. So
and one further point. I mean, we talk about a lot of lifestyle, obviously on Twitter and some of the videos that I do that have nothing to do with pro basketball. But in your life, if you really enjoy what you do, it could be your job. It should be your job. That's your livelihood. You don't want to go off work. You don't like vacation. Like I love doing NBA commentary. When there's no NBA in the middle of the summer, I'm kind of in purgatory. I want to get in there. I want to work. I want to hustle. I want to get into the numbers and dominate it. And with NBA players, it's like if you really wake up to ball, that's what you do in your life. It's like eating, sleeping. To not do it speaks to a lack of passion. And Jay, you said it, but it's a lack of passion for the game of basketball. And then you ask yourself, how contaminated is it by just the fact that a lot of these guys are getting paid more than $2 million a month? And then it just becomes hard to focus on the game of basketball unless you're a very unique quality of a competitor, which apparently they're not.
Yeah, guys get paid way too much money, man. I'm sorry, guys. We guys are real. We like to keep it real with you guys, real life type of stuff. It's just some NBA talk to start off the show. Don't worry, we're going to get into the games right now. I know it's usually strictly business, but this is a conversation I had to have. I'm sure you guys saw me ranting on Twitter. I'm very passionate about this. It does make me feel some type of way that I'm even passionate on this. We can do all this work and trying to cap the games, right? And then we see these guys not be passionate. So it is kind of tough sometimes for me, just psychologically. I do get pissed off from time to time when I notice these guys don't take it as serious. But damn good commentary, Shark, man. I love to talk to this shit about, what I'm saying? I love to do this, man. So let's get into the games. Let's get into the games. First game up, we're going to the streets of Indiana here. We're going to the streets of Indiana. We got the Pacers versus the Hawks here, right? So I told you guys earlier, watch out for Cam Reddish. He is out. And Shark, I'm not sure what you're thinking. I know that the Hawks are due to come up, but right now, just talking specifically this game, they do have a couple of huge injuries or whatever. Bogdanovich is out for a while, and Cam Reddish is out for a while as well. So defensively, they're missing Reddish defensively, missing Bogdanovich offense. How do you think they'll fare on the road here in Indiana, my guy?
It's a tough spot, and I think that's a standout point for this card, particularly in the Eastern Conference games tonight. There's a lot of teams that should be moving in the same direction. Atlanta should continue their upward movement in terms of their ATS efficiency on the road, particularly against the East, where they have not been very good. And Indiana should continue their upward movement in general in the campaign. We were talking about this, but something we don't discuss until month 2 or 3 in the season is point per game differentials. And when you look in the standings, Atlanta and Indiana are 2, if not the top 2 buys in terms of point per game differential. Both are not currently in the playoffs with positive point per game differentials. And Indiana is actually 5 games under with a positive point per game differential. The lean for me would be Indiana here. Indiana did beat them in the last game of last year, and the line was -6 Atlanta. So obviously Atlanta revenge game, and they're plummeting the line down to 5. And I think it's getting steamed the other direction, mostly by sharps. A couple guys I talked to who do not cap NBA professionally, but cap numbers in a sharp way, are all over Indiana tonight. So nothing official from me, but I think the sharp action is all over Indiana here.
Yeah, I'd be looking towards the Pacers as well. No Justin Holiday, but Miles Turner is back. So Justin Holiday, he's going to be out for like four games, maybe even 5 with out with COVID protocol. So like I say, this is at least for one game where I think Reddish and Bogdanovich, the loss of those two guys, heavy usage for the two guys as well. I think it could show. The Hawks are a very deep team, but like I say, their bench isn't super strong. Like guys like DeLon Wright just so up and down here. Shark. Let me see what we got the total of real quick. I just want to look at these games more in depth this time around, since we usually, you know what I'm saying? I know, Shark, you didn't really look at I know you don't. Did you look at the total here? It's a total 217. You know, we can look at shit fast. It doesn't take us too long here, my guy.
I look at every total, and I look at the number, and I cross-reference it with previous matchups to see where the line's going. Just a general snapshot. Some of the sharpest lines in the sport you will find, like we talk about with ATS sides, which are usually 5, 6, or 7, are lines between 214 and 219. That is just what you call your hover zone to gamble for totals. And a snapshot to this board tonight, a lot of them are right in that range. You got 216.5, you got 217.5, you got another 216.5. You have 5 or 6 that are right in that hover range. We've had some sharp totals the last few days. I think I'm actually 4-0 officially on the show dating back to last week. Of course, Jay, you're 1-0 dropping that real blowout under last night. But again, just like ATS side, sometimes there just are not opportunities to dominate. These totals tonight, I looked at them. I think they're going to be razor sharp.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. As far as props in this game, who's going to get more look, right? So they are going to start Solomon Hill in this game. There's going to be more time. There's going to be more opportunities for. I know I read the other day that Timothy Luo-Cabarrot off the bench will get a lot more run as well. DeLon Wright's going to have to be that backup point guard off the bench here between him and Lou Williams. So as far as guys that's looking for props, you want to look towards DeLon Wright assist. You want to look towards Lou Will, maybe get some points. They hadn't really been playing Lou Will a ton of minutes here lately, but would definitely look towards that one. But I would lean the Pacers there, heavy lean for me. Pacers, like I say, they're Reddish and Bogdanovich may not seem like a lot, but I know this Hawks team, and they start to use Reddish a ton. He's a really good two-way player and damn good defensive player, my guys. Let's go ahead and get to this next game. Let's go to, he got the hat on. I love going to Denver. A little bit Magic, you know what I'm saying? We're going to the streets of Orlando here. We got the Nuggets versus the Magic. Nuggets are due to come up, Shark. I'm sure you agree with me. They just came off a 6-game losing streak. Those were against some top teams, if you ask me. Like those are, you look at each one of those games, they were some tough opponents. Now they go and beat the Heat. Again, no revenge for the Heat. Now you're going to face a bottom feeder in the Magic. I hate the fact that Bones Holland and Austin Rivers are in health and safety protocols, or I'd be a trifecta spot. It's still Nuggets or nothing for me here. They lost Jalen Suggs. Cole Anthony's coming back, but his team is, I could see an underspot as well, Shark. What do you think about this game?
Official play, Denver Nuggets -2.5. I think it's a great look, fading the Magic in the first quarter coming off a trip. You actually go through the season. Uncannily, they're 3-0 first quarter off a trip game 1, last 3. However, we talk about qualifier. Was it on their quality or was it the opponent? It was the opponent. They got Charlotte twice. Charlotte is, I believe, the worst first quarter team in the league as of a week ago. And I don't know if that statistic is still holding court. So they're 2-0 ATS in that environment against Charlotte, but that is on Charlotte 100%. And they're 1-0 against Boston. And Boston is equally lackluster when they want to be, and they were before covering a game which we had correctly at -6.5 going back 2 or 3 weeks. However, you come back in here and you look at what Denver has done in Florida. Aaron Rodgers can't play in Florida. You know who can play in Florida? The Denver Nuggets. And they love to do it. They show up against the Heat and they show up against the Magic. Last year, 30-15 in the first quarter, blowout spot. And you just look at what's going on here. There's just a great buy low environment to fade the Magic in this road trip coming home first quarter scenario. They did get shelled against the Knicks in the second game of the season. off of a road game at the Spurs. I think it comes back tonight and they start to crater in this environment. Denver first quarter -2.5, 1 unit.
You know what? I like it, Shark. I couldn't talk you off. I'd say it does hurt to have Bone Tyler and those two guards off of the bench, but that would show. If that's going to show, it would show as the game goes on. You see what I'm saying? I'm riding with you, Denver, because like I already liked it. I like Nuggets trifecta, to be honest with you. But like I say, they're missing. They already don't have too many guards. They're down to just Campazzo, Barton, Monte Morris, and one more guard they have. But still, like I say, they're starting to get thin at the guard position. We go ahead and get in here and get out. You see what I'm saying? Come in here and smack C spot in the first quarter. I like it, Shark. I'm finna ride with you right now. You dig what I'm saying? First quarter, -2.5. Denver Nuggets. We eating chicken today or what? What is this that we doing? No, I'm messing with y'all, man. Let's get to it. Let me see. Let me look. So we got the total of 207, Shark. Rick, I know we have to be leaning towards a Magic team total under here. They're already not a great offensive team. Cole Anthony's coming back, missed maybe 4 games here. Could be a little rusty. Jalen Suggs. I really think that's going to show here, guys. And they'll be without Suggs for a while here. The Magic aren't the type of teams that can be missing these guards. You see them? They're already missing a ton, Shark. What you think on this total, my guy?
Probably a sharp line, as I suggested. I think most of these totals tonight are pretty damn sharp. The lean would be an under, which seems to be a trend we're seeing in the campaign in general, which I think is a snapshot to officiating changing immensely. Of course, we've talked about that mostly off the record, not as much on the show. Of course, we try to stay businesslike, but off the record stuff we do talk about is just the fact that these games are a lot tighter and they're a lot lower because they're officiating drastically differently. They're not giving kick-out fouls on threes. They're not letting guys wrap the arm around the defender and pulling them in. You know, the flopping has basically been eradicated in the league, and the league is better off for it, but there's a lot less points being scored. Hey, look at last year. Both the games were roughly hovering around 210, 211 final. This comes down to 207.5 off that average. It's going to come down, but I believe this is hovering right in the range where you are just gambling, which we're trying to avoid.
Got you. So my guy Pedro, he's just one of the trolls that's been trolling, but I'm still gonna give him a little love. So if the Nuggets do cover the full game, I'll give you some love tomorrow, my guy. I mean, if the Magic, he's saying the Nuggets won't cover. That's the difference between the Magic will cover, my guy. So don't just because you're hating on one side, but I'll give you a little bit of love, my guy. But you got 3 strikes. Hey, some props in this game, man. I'd be looking towards 2 things here. Gary Harris used to play for the Nuggets, right? His prop is sitting at over his points, over 8.5. It is juiced to -125, but I do see Gary Harris with a little bit of extra motivation. He will be starting as well. Should get a lot of minutes, even more without Jalen Suggs. The ball should be in his hands, so I could see him getting to double digits. Like there's a lot of scenarios where I see that Gary Harris want to come in here and ball out. I like that over 8.5 by him. Aaron Gordon on the flip side, he used to play for the Magic. He's got 14.5 for Aaron Gordon. What are we doing here? I feel like he would have to not play the whole game or something or to get injured. I'm taking Aaron Gordon over 14.5. I like Aaron Gordon over 14.5 and Gary Harris over 8.5, my guys. And the Aaron Gordon is just -114. They're over 14.5. I like that. I like the matchups. The Magic do have some bigs, but he'll have some extra incentive to ball out in Orlando today, Shark. Which any thoughts on that real quick?
I agree. I mean, I think that obviously Gordon coming up over here against his former team is a good look. I mean, I don't cap props. Again, props oftentimes sound good, but then you look at the number and it's sharp and, people complain, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't get, 22 points and the line was like 22.5. And it's like, guys, you watch Sports Center, they show you the highlights. The guy looks like a human highlight reel, but his average is 21.5. So you're still gambling against a Vegas constructed long-term sharp average. So that's why I don't throw them out, because I just don't have the time to go into a completely separate project. Although if we did go there, I'm sure we'd find exploitability just as we do in game capping.
Yeah, that's a damn good point. And it's just something, and I'm just want to say something real quick. You have a damn good point, because I don't really cap props like that. And I'm basically just taking it on. I'm not going to really necessarily call it a narrative. I'm going to call it an angle that I would like to, when a player faces his old team, it usually does cash at a high rate. They just psychologically, right? If you're going back to your old squad, you want to show them up, simply put. So, but you are right with that. And I just want to say that's another thing. I will start to look at props a whole lot more, a whole lot deeper, some totals as well, just because with the sides, what I like to bet it on, it does unfortunately have to be with guys playing passionately. I like to cap with motivation spots. Then these motherfuckers come out here and play like they don't care, or you know what I'm saying. And I'll say it again. I wasn't on the Warriors last night, but Curry going 4 for 21 seems kind of fishy to me, man. I don't give a damn what nobody says, man. I'm watching the game. I'm watching the shot selection. I'm watching the turnovers. Doesn't look like Curry to me, man. So sometimes I feel like maybe we could be on some sharper sides as far as the props. Just something I'm gonna start doing, looking at some other assets where I can beat the game, because these spreads right now with all this injury bullshit. Because really, Shark, with the injury shit, you can hop on, you know what I'm saying, some other players' points. Like if a few guys are out in the lineup, hey, this guy's going to get the ball more. This guy's going to get a lot more opportunities. You see what I'm saying? So the injury shit, we could capitalize off it, to be honest with you, man. Let's get to the next game here. Let's go to the streets of Washington, D.C. here, Shark. Wizards versus the Wolves. What are we looking at, my brother?
Official play, road team here in D.C. Wolves, first half +2 on the book I use, which is Heritage Sportsbook. Not plugging, but we're talking about sponsors. Maybe we should plug these guys.
Hey, they got to pay us for that, man.
But +2 here, and I looked across other books, and an interesting point just in terms of line scaling. Again, not having nothing to do with the sport. A lot of other books have them at +2.5, but they're at plus odds. And the Wizards are -2.5 and juiced. And just a snapshot to capping sports, you could apply this to any sport on planet Earth. If a favorite is being juiced, but they're not moving the line up by a half point to a neutral price, it can get up to 130, 140, 150 even. That is the ultimate fish take, because they're holding it because they want novice bettors to think they're getting value on a short line, and they just keep jacking up the price. And you're seeing that in some books on this particular game, where it's getting juiced up -2.5 Washington here to 120, 125. That is really noteworthy. And second of all, you look at the actual matchup here. Minnesota comes in here off a lackluster non-cover at home against Indiana, which we had correctly 2 nights ago. And I draw you back to one of, if not the only time this year they came off of a home non-cover and went to the East in a revenge game. It was against the Milwaukee Bucks, and they covered the trifecta. They went in there and they won the first quarter, the second quarter, and the game outright as a dog. We had that correctly going back to that particular day, I believe in October. We have a good handle on Washington, or on Minnesota, and we also have a good handle on Washington. Washington has not been impressive this year or last in the first half coming off of a road trip, whether it be coming off a loss or a win. They come in here off a 2 or 3 game trip, win at Dallas, blowout loss against San Antonio. But again, you get Minnesota here in a double revenge game. They got absolutely hammered by double digits both times last year against Washington. I think Minnesota comes in here 7 p.m., only 36 minutes away, and covers the first half and wins outright the first half at +2, 1 unit.
I like it, my guy. I'm glad. Sorry, I would have went to that game first. You're right. It's this, but that's why. And I'll be honest with you guys. I like doing the show the hour before the games come on, especially for the 6 o'clock games. And I always tell you guys, no need in rushing, right? I feel like you wait to the last second. Really, that's where you're gonna have the most strong feel on the game, right? So sometimes there may be some overnight where you're knowing, hey, this line may move, but a lot of times, man, waiting to the last few minutes before the game starts, you can never go wrong with that. We got to keep doing this, man. We got to keep doing this, bro. Because this 5 to 6, this really is lit right here. Still almost 500 people watching. Must not be a bad hour. You dig what I'm saying? So
yeah. And one other point just on the endeavor of prognosticating and betting in a professional manner. Oftentimes, it's a lot easier to get into the data
the damn sportsbook trying to fuck with my guy's shit, man.
You back in there?
Shark, yeah, you back now. Just right when you finna say some shit, that's when it stops, man. Somebody is fucking with us, man.
Too sharp, man. Too sharp. But
damn it. Good God. It did it again, bro. If you can hear me, man. Fuck. This shit really, I know it's not his fault, man. Damn it. I don't know. Let's just get back to the game here, because when we're talking about the games, it didn't mess up, bro. But I know you was finna, like, I'm listening up. I know you finna say some sharp shit, man. But let's just, I do like the look with the Wolves. I know I was talking about it earlier because this was a possible Wizards game for me. See what I'm saying? But you make some really good points there. The Wolves are hot. The only thing that can mess with their flow right now, the way that they're balling, is having a few of their key guys out. Talking about an Anthony Edwards or a Jared Vanderbilt, and those two guys are in. They're clear to play. The only one is out is Jaden McDaniels. He's a bench player. He does matter, but off the bench and taking first half. I've seen the Wizards do this plenty of times as well. Come out sluggish in the first quarter, first half, and then they have a huge comeback. They did it versus the Heat as well. And I mean, the Heat are they're a really good defensive team. So if the Wizards could do it in that spot, I think that this could be a Wolves first half, Wizards full game, to be honest with you. I like the look there, Shark. I really do, my guy. You back with us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, no, I had buffered again, but I want to hear what you're about to say, man. I really do.
Oh, okay. Well, if it doesn't cut out, and again, apologies, guys. Trust me, my internet is a result of the provider here in Florida. I don't know what's going on. But oftentimes I think just in your life, in an endeavor like this, it's easier to look at numbers about 2 hours before the games and completely hone in. It's like professional athletes don't go to the locker room 12 hours before the game. They get in there about 2 hours, hone in their mind and their body, and just feeling a bit of subconscious urgency. Your best product comes out when there's a little pressure. Not a lot of pressure where you're stressed, but just a little pressure to perform. And I always thought that to myself, if I lived over in Asia or something and the games came on at like 7 in the morning, I'd get up at like 6. I get up at like 5:30 in the morning. I'd cap, and I'd be having like morning coffee as the games went on. And I always felt like that would be a great contained environment for me as a person, as opposed to getting up at 9 in the morning.
My guy cut out there, but I'm glad we got most of it. And don't mess with me, because I want to move to Asia. I need to wake up and just cap the games. You know what I'm saying? Do them real quick and then go to sleep. That's what I need to do. I don't need to watch the games. I need to record it, and then I need to go to sleep and wake up with the cash. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot less stressful for me. We got most of it, Shark. So I definitely understand what you're saying. It's like an exciting rush or whatever. But I definitely dig it, man. Let's get to it. Let's go to the streets of. Oh, just real quick. I did want to look at some props real quick in that game. Just bear with me, my guys. I'm just trying to help you. I'm really just trying to help y'all. You dig what I'm saying? So we got Wizards, Timberwolves. What we got? Total of 218. Probably should be a fast-paced game. Timberwolves been playing some defense, though. The Wizards can lock down as well. I could see that first half going like the Timberwolves, Timberwolves covering and over, and then that second half be a lot slower pace, because that's when the Wizards will turn up defensively, guys. So I could really see that first half over and then the full game still go under. Maybe sprinkle on that. If you total, guys, look into that first half over, and my guy Shark with the Timberwolves on that first half. I like that as well, my guys. Anthony Edwards is in. They got all type of props out here, man. Oh boy. Oh no, that's some first basket shit, man. But we'll get to the next game. Let's just get to the next game. We got the Celtics versus the 76ers here, man. Shark. The 76ers cleaned them boys up last year. All three times they cleaned them up. Whether they in Philly, whether they in Boston, didn't matter. In theory, you got the triple revenge game. Like I say, I don't always go back to last year, but it does matter, guys. Whether it translates to the game this year, it does matter as far as looking at the game pre-game, right? Everyone can be a genius after the game. Oh, last year didn't matter. But then what happens when that team gets their revenge? It shit matters. So I can tell you this: the Celtics are nothing for me. I know people in the chat saying Embiid will eat. They like the Sixers and all that. I mean, I don't want to talk them off, but just me, I'm not betting the game. I'd be You could still take some Embiid props. He could still eat, but I don't think he's totally in shape right now, Shark. The 76ers hadn't been in good sorts the 2 games that he's been back. What do you think about this one?
This is tough. I mean, I've said this on this broadcast in the last half hour, and I've said it numerous times over the last year, which we've worked together, of course, the very beginning of this channel, and we appreciate you guys beyond words. But the Celtics are impossible to figure out for me. They do not function on the number. They don't function on revenge. Sometimes they revenge, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the number matters, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they show up at home off a loss, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they cluster wins, sometimes they don't. They are absolutely unpredictable. They're one of the most unpredictable teams in the entire sport. And I go back to last year, and I said this last year when we were evaluating the East. A handful of Eastern teams play the same game against each other every single time. Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philly, and Boston. And it's interchangeable. whenever any of those four teams are involved with each other, they basically play the same game. And Philly owns Boston. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And you also look at Philly. Philly is one of the buy spots in the sport right now. They've lost 8 of their last 11. Embiid was out of the lineup for a period of time. They've had other issues, obviously, with Ben Simmons not being there, obviously a principal player from seasons past. And they're just flat out a buy team. And you look at this number, this is a strong number for Boston. But again, it doesn't seem to matter. When Boston came home last year, the number scaled 4.5 points towards them, and it was a pick 'em, and they lost by 10 anyway. If I had to take a side, which I'm not, I would lean Philly here.
Yeah, it's Celtics or nothing for me here, guys. And my guy Shark said something that I didn't look at. That's why I like doing the show with, you know what I'm saying, just other great basketball minds. The Sixers have owned the Celtics. Could Simmons have been a large part of that? You see what I'm saying? Sixers played a lot differently when they were with Simmons and Embiid. Now this is the first game the Celtics have seen them without Simmons. Now you got Horford on against Embiid as well. Horford used to play for the Celtics as well, but he used to play for the 76ers in 1 year or maybe a few years. Don't take me on that. With Embiid, a lot of practice time, a lot of going head to head. Al Horford kind of knows how to, not that he knows how to stop Embiid. Nobody can stop Embiid. You got Robert Williams III back in this game. You see what I'm saying? Josh Richardson, everybody's back in this one. Dennis Schroeder, he's back. You got Jaylen Brown's playing. Tatum. It's Celtics or nothing for me in the spot. And the way that the 76ers have looked so far with these 2 games that Embiid has been back, they hadn't looked good. They almost lost as 14-point favorites to the Magic. It could have been a look-ahead spot, but I think it's going to take them some time to get used to Embiid back. I agree they are due to come up, but maybe just not in this game. If the Celtics really come out here and play their game, they have all their guys back, Horford and Robert Williams III, that they can throw at Embiid. I like the matchups here. Maybe this is the time they get the revenge without Simmons, my guys. So this is why you guys watch the show. My guy made a case for the 76ers. I made a case for the Celtics, man. I like the Celtics here, man. I didn't bet it either, but I do like Celtics, but they are definitely up and down, my guys. But we'll see. Let's see what happens in this one. Let's get to a game I like here. Damn, man, I feel like a contrarian here, Sharks. The line's going all the way down. It was at 7.5. I was like, damn, it's high. I know it's high for a reason because it's going to be Smack City. So they're bringing it down. No Jimmy Butler and Bam is out, right? So Jimmy, I don't know what's up with Jimmy. Bam will be out for a little while. He's going to have surgery, all this. I still think the Heat finna smack him up. And I took the first half. I took the first half minus 1.5. The line did go down. Earlier I said it -3, but I kept it real, y'all. I told you I didn't bet it yet. But I'm still riding that Heat first half, -1.5 official. It's down to 1 now. I still think the Heat finna smack these boys up. And you know why? I think they'll do it with shooting. I think Duncan Robinson, I think Tyler Hero going off for this game. And I'm going to take some 3-point props as well, Shark. I know what's up, Shark? What you think about this one? Heat versus Cavs, my guy.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. I mean, we put on Twitter. Obviously, we haven't seen the final lineups, or have we? We've been on the air for 32 minutes here, so I haven't checked the final lineups. I'm not on anything officially here, but we were discussing it off the record. Miami first half here is an excellent take. They have this sequence of games already. We are just over a month in. They just don't come out particularly well off a road trip. At home, of course, they came out awful in the last game against Denver. It's just your classic home game 2 environment. And you do get Cleveland here, who has not been particularly good in the first half, specifically at the East. And Cleveland is just absolutely filthy hot. And I think there could be a bit of a Ciroc on ice environment here with Cleveland letting down. But I do think the backups, whoever's playing for the Heat, will come out here juiced up in the first half for sure.
Yeah, and not even that, not even Ciroc. Day off in Miami? You talk about Ciroc on ice. I stay in Cleveland. We have a day off in Miami. I'm just saying. I know the last time I mentioned this in LA, it didn't work, but that was against the Clippers. This is against the Heat off the loss at the house. They're a much more hard-nosed type of team. This team, the Cavs, are nice defensively. The Heat can play some defense too, guys. I'll tell you this. I think this defense up against defense, the Heat's offense is better than the Cavs. Simply put, I know they got Jared Allen. I know they got Mobley. My guy in the chat say smack them up with who? The Heat still got ballers. Now, they will need Dedmon and Yurt-Seven to step up here, especially as far as the rebounding, but just this is the way I see the game game going. The shooters from Miami will get hot. Simply put, they will make. What's the game of basketball? You have to make more shots than the other team. I think the Heat will come in here with some sticky defense. I think they'll start it off early. I'll be honest. I like the Heat in the trifecta spot. Only thing I've taken is the first half, but I think they come out hot and never look back. If the Cavs are sluggish here, they won't have the offense to come back in this game, my guys. This could be where they miss Sexton. I know Rubio's balling. I know that Garland's balling. Mobley, Jared Allen, all this. Have a day off in Miami, man. Go hit the yacht one time, man. Go hit the ocean one time. Shark, man. But let me just look up real quick, Shark, if you can, the total, my guy. Look at the total for me. Total 206. What you think? It should be another under here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's another under. There's just no way around it. We talked about it going back to the game Philly played against Orlando the other night, and I made the comment that more novice people who, again, are not looking at numbers and oftentimes looking at Sports Center too much and just thinking, how can we find the easiest spot? Just as a point, and I'll say it again, usually the easiest spot is the worst spot, because when they move a line down and you think it's an over, they're telling you it's coming down and it's an under. And of course, this is why most people are not long-term winners. And this is not a shot at anybody. Most people just don't know what they're looking at, and they're taught incorrectly. If the line is moving down from the average, not the market movement, but the actual open average from Vegas, it's telling you a lot lower scoring game is coming. And you see last year, the games were inflated. Miami did blow them out 3 times, but all those games were over 220, I believe. And it's just telling you this game could be another one of those games that just ends up, 101 to 81 Miami or something like that.
They're taking them to Smack City, bro. I don't care. No, I got the socks on too, bro. I know the Cavs been playing well. A lot of that, Shark, just look at this, right? 8 of their past 2 games. I mean, a lot of people like to look at numbers, and this is why I feel like numbers can be skewed. Look at the Cavs, right? They've been balling. Defense been hot. All this. They played 8 of their past 10 games at the house. They at the house chilling, getting comfortable at the house, practicing, waiting on the other teams to come to Cleveland. It's uninspiring spot. They've only had 2 road games in the past 10. They coming off their win versus the Clippers, where the Clippers were just dead in the water, just, overlook them. I don't think that the Heat will overlook them. They see it's like the Wizards when they facing them early in the season. They see, oh, okay, you're doing nice in the East, right? You're hanging with us in the Centers. Let me come and show y'all that you're just a little bit lower than us. You're not ready yet to hang with the big boys. I know they're without Jimmy. I know they're without Bam, but they're going to have to get used to being without Bam for a while. You need to go out here and get this win under your belt. Another Eastern Conference opponent that's been balling. Go and show them what's up. Heat finna come out here and smack them. I don't care what nobody said, man. I know people taking the Cavs. Y'all can do what you want. I took Heat first half -1.5, and I think it's going to cash. I don't have the 3-point pops up. The book that I cashed, that I cashed with, that I bet with, don't have them up. But I be looking at Tyler Hero 3-point props. I be looking at Duncan Robinson 3-point props, and Kyle Lowry as well, my guys. So let's see what happens. Let's see what it does. But I kind of feel kind of good about this game, and I think that the line going down, and it's a contrarian play. I've seen this shit happen before. Let's go to the streets of Milwaukee here, Shark. We won't be on here too much longer, my guy. Even though I love to do this shit, man. It's giving me a whole nother type of energy right now, bro. But we got the Hornets versus the Bucks, my guys. I'll tell you here, Shark. I need someone to talk me out of the Hornets +9. I know they're without Plumlee. I know that they're without possibly Martin as well, when the Martin twins off the bench. I think the Hornets will have enough offense to stay within this 9, and it's a little funky spot for the Bucks as well. They go back on the road tomorrow. What you think? Talk me out of it, bro, please. I know the Bucks could smack them up. They won't.
Couldn't talk you off. Nothing official. We would lean Hornets. Of course, we were just discussing this a couple hours ago. When you look at Milwaukee on a dub-7, I don't know how sustainable that is. And also, you go back to last year, Charlotte did play them tough. They were 2-1 straight up and ATS. The line is coming down a half point. It's showing strength towards the Hornets. We were talking about this, I guess, from the standpoint that Milwaukee theoretically should do one of their games where they come out, potentially hammer a team, and then get backdoored. They did do that against Oklahoma City and 1 or 2 other teams. I don't necessarily think this is a great take on either side of the game. Of course, if it was, it would be an official play. I do think the Hornets could get there. Of course, they played 2 awful games in a row. A loss to Houston, which was inexcusable, and then a game at Chicago, which I had incorrectly. And really, that was just an incredible lack of defense in that game. Chicago shot over 50%. They were shooting 65% from the field through like 60-plus field goals in the 3rd or 4th quarter. Like, it was an absolute just disaster defensively, no pressure whatsoever. And the other team also was just on a clustered heater shooting the ball. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I think this will be a little bit tighter than people think. I think this is probably a Hornets side inside of 8 points.
And guess what? I really like to share some info with you guys. I don't really want to go too far off on a limb. I really like to share some info with you guys. But I guess let me put it this way. I've seen the Bucks, aka Giannis, do this before. They could be up 15 in the fourth quarter. Before you know it, it's a 5 or 6 point game. They bush around. Oh, okay. Even if they have to put the stars back in, okay, cool. They'll win the game, get what they want, but they won't cover the spread. I'm not saying it's some fishy stuff, but I'm just saying, you guys know, just watch the Bucks. It's mainly, especially when they 12, 13 point favorites, they don't cover these type of spreads. The Hornets can score, even though they don't have Plumlee out there. They've been used to playing without him for good 4 games now. And when you really look at it, so PJ Washington and Bridges don't really have size, but they can still have the quickness in theory to stay with Giannis to try to keep him from getting to the hole. So, and they still don't have Brooks back. They got Bobby Portis as the 5 or Giannis. Those are only pretty much centers. They're kind of thin in the front court as well. Bridges and PJ Washington could go off. Y'all know how they like to do the lob dunks. LaMelo Ball. Rozier's balling right now. You still got Gordon Hayward. You got to worry about him as well. Drew Holiday can only be on one of those 3 guards, Shark. You remember what I said? You need 3 defensive guards to be on their 3-headed guards pretty much the whole game. They only got 1 Drew Holiday. Not Grayson Allen. He's not a bad defender, but he's no Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton has a baby at the house. Could be got a newborn baby. He come back to the house, could be a little bit distracted. They go on the road tomorrow. I don't like this spot for the Bucks. I guess that's what I'm saying. That Hornets +9 starting to look good, man. We just come over here to break down the games. You see what I'm saying? People that's on the Bucks, I'm not trying to talk you off. If you like them that much, I mean, your bet's probably already in. I guarantee you, I'm not trying to talk you off. I'm just telling you with me, we're trying to tell you how we look at the games. It's just me. I'm leaning the Hornets in this one. Live betting always could not be a bad when Bucks will get a good lead. I think that the Hornets are live in the fourth quarter in this one. They could be down 20 and they have an opportunity to cover this game. 3 more games, Shark. I just have them labeled as the other games, my guy. I know we were talking about this OKC game earlier. Only thing I don't like about it here, Shark, obviously it's the revenge game. Hornets been starting to play a little bit better. That was at the house. But then OKC, Josh Giddey is out. You see what I'm saying? Like Giddey is out. Then they did Baisley is questionable here. It's like, damn, is OKC trying to tank this motherfucker away, Shark? But it is the revenge spot here, Shark. So what are we doing? Let me know something. Drop us off with something. You dig it?
I don't think they're giving this game away. I think they're turned up for this game. They are coming in here in what is one of the more transparent sequences of games we've seen in the NBA calendar this year so far. This is already the 4th matchup between these 2 teams. You're going to see what you're going to get, and it's already going to be over within 3 hours of right now. And what you saw was a blowout by Houston in Houston, a revenge game on a good line number in Oklahoma City, another blowout in Houston. Now you come back, you get the same line move, you get the revenge game again for Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma City is on an L6. A lot of close games, a lot of competitive games on the road against contenders, a lot of very representative efforts. And I think you just get Houston, who's on an almost comedic 3-game winning streak outright, coming in here. It's the ultimate spot we want to buy and fade. You want to fade Houston on a winning streak. You want to buy Oklahoma City in a revenge game where they have shown this tendency already this season, and you want to buy this number. -3 official, coming down. I believe you can get at 2.5 now, and that is a 1-unit play from the Shark on a Sunday Not So Casual winning Wednesday.
I want to take the Thunder here. I don't like that Giddey's out because they already risking favors here. Let me get some more info. And then I got to read this off real quick. Their coach saying that they'll take another look at Paul Watson Jr. and Theo Maledon tonight, but Maledon will go to the blue pretty soon. Just talking about how the young guys will get a lot more play tonight. I don't like the feeling of that, but I'll tell you this. There's another side of it, right, Shark? These guys are trying – we got to think about this. These guys are trying to make a team, so they're going to be playing hard. Other teams they already have their spot, and I do at some point. Jalen Green, the loss of Jalen Green will come. You know what I'm saying? Come for them, and I think they're playing without DJ Augustine as well. He was giving them a spark off the bench, Shark. So this quick revenge game, I want to take OKC here. It's just I just don't want to bet on this game. But I can tell you this, Shark, it's OKC or nothing. I'm rooting for you. I hope you cash. I may make a live bet. The Thunder coming to play, I'll hop on them. This is definitely a game I live bet. If they come to play like they should definitely get some revenge here. Like I say, the Rockets were hot, but they was at the house. Now you go on the road. It's an environmental shift. Like I say, Jalen Green, the loss of him will be missed at some point. I'm rooting for you, Shark. I may ride with you. Let's go to the next game. We got let's talk about my Mavs, man, versus the Pelicans. Here, Shark. I'm sorry if you're getting tired, man, but you can dip if you want, Shark. I know it's a while, and you're holding the phone. What you doing? Let's get out of here. Mavs versus Pelicans. We're on the streets of New Orleans. Eating with Zion.
Well, we talked about this. This game is really tough to cap because you want to take the Pelicans here on this number. This is a short number theoretically. Of course, when you have a 10-9 team laying only 4 at open to a team that is 6-17, just historically, that is clearly a buy spot on the underdog. The only unfortunate thing when you start going through this game is you look at where Dallas is on their calendar. They have lost 5 out of 6. Mm-hmm. They're coming off of 2 really weak efforts at home in the last 2 games against the East, 2 outright losses, Washington and Cleveland, which was an awful performance the other night. They came out flat. They didn't compete for 4 quarters. And you come in here last year, they did get hammered in New Orleans by, I believe, 9 to 15 points, and they were plus 5.5. And we were talking about this just an hour or 2 ago, but the favorite seems to cover in this series with these teams. The favorite covered all 3 last year, whether it be a home favorite for Dallas on a short or large number, and New Orleans did cover at home as a favorite. So I think Dallas coming in here off this lackluster stretch, even though it theoretically should be a buy on the Pelicans, does speak to the favorite continuing to cover in this environment. And again, you get the Pelicans coming in here off a very nice looking road trip, couple outright wins, and a real blowout win in the last game against the Clippers. So you get that brutal home game 1 off a trip environment. You get it off a blowout win. And I think you have a strong enough number, even though it's not noteworthy strong. We're going into deeper analysis here. I would lean Dallas, but it's just hard to take either side here. It's definitely a no play.
Based on what you said, you basically talking me into Mavs first quarter. You see what I'm saying? Like you say, the Nuggets and the Pelicans, they come off their road trip back to the house, and it's West Coast as well. So you have that 2-hour time difference as well that you have to get used to. The Mavs pissed off, been getting smacked up, lost 5 of 6. I said it earlier. I think it's a must-win game for the Mavs. You can't really lose these type of games, even though the Pelicans are due to come up and they're playing well. They got Valanciunas balling, Brandon Ingram back, all this. They're actually playing for their coach again. Even still, with all of that, they struggle to score. And I feel like the Mavs, if you stop Valanciunas and stop Ingram, make the rest of the guys beat you. I think Josh Hart is on the injury report now. The Mavs have the guys to win this game, simply put. I mean, you can't be losing these type of games if you're really trying to do something in the West over there. You can't even go on slides like this. Porzingis looks like paper plate's going to suit up. I think it's a big game for the Mavs. You basically talked me into first quarter. I'm already leaning full game. I know the line was short, but I think a lot of that was Porzingis. It's Mavs or nothing for me here. I think the Pelicans may do good later on in the homestand, not in this one. Heavy lean to Mavs first quarter, heavy lean to Mavs game. I don't even want to talk about those bitch-ass Clippers. I'm sorry for the language, but with Paul George doing that, he's one of the highest paid guys on the team, and he's going to choose to rest, not even give the fans. I mean, you can get what Shark. Just the last thing I got to say about it. Why not get up 20, then rest? Go out there and blast somebody ass and then rest the game. You smack them up by 20 in the first quarter, you can rest the rest of the game. I won't have nothing to say, bro. I'm sorry, man.
No, I mean, I agree. We opened the show with it, and we'll close the show with it. This game is just hard to cap because of that environment. You're not getting full squad action here. And you want to buy the Clippers. Clippers are in a revenge game. They lost the final game of last year to Sacramento, and they have lost 2 games in a row. They've been lackluster, unimpressive, whatever you want to call it. But again, the Kings are hard to figure out. Coaching change, roster ambiguity at the max. I think a couple of guys are out tonight yet again. And, of course, the Kings are just very, very unpredictable. They're hard to bet. They're hard to cap. And there's just not much to say on this game.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it on, man. But we're going to end with that, Shark. Break them off with the officials, man. Love doing this with you, bro. Talking basketball, I could really do 3 shows a day. Well, I did do 3 shows. This is the 3rd show today with no problem. Whole hour. So I could do 3 shows. Oh, this is with Shark. Break them off with the officials.
3 officials, 10 minutes, Orlando, Florida. road locker room. Denver, first quarter, -2.5. They love traveling in Florida. They love coming out of the gate hot. And the Magic are on a very unsustainable 3-0 first quarter clip off road trips. Game 1, very situational, catching Charlotte and Boston in all 3 of those, who are not good against a weaker team in the first quarter. Denver, first quarter, -2.5, 1 unit. Minnesota, +2 first half at Washington, catching Washington off a road trip, coming home first half, game 1. Corollary, Minnesota at Milwaukee, double revenge game off blowouts, off a non-cover at home themselves. I think Minnesota comes up here and really shows up in the first half big time. And of course, the buy hat is engaged December 1st, 2021, Oklahoma City Thunder revenge game, 4th matchup of the year. Significant line transparency and just trend travel transparency here. I think they get there again. I think they get there by double digits in the revenge game. 3 official plays, 9 words of lifestyle. Ride the wave or get out of the water. J Money's money. Love working with you. Let's fucking go. Close them out.
Yeah, you going 3-0 too. I'm telling you that right now. G Martinez says it's the best show of the season. I feel the same way, my guy. Jay Gill says we need to do this time slot even more, man. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Heat first half for me. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the Heat trifecta this shit. I know the Cavs been hot. They're on the road. Only the third road game in the last 11 games. Day off in Miami. You going to holler at some girls? You going to hop on the yacht? You going to the club? What else you going to go do? You holler at Rick Ross? All that, man. But I'm riding with my guy as well. Nuggets, we eat spicy nuggets today, man. No Magic show. We're going to hop with the Nuggets in their first quarter there. I think it's their prime. Bet against the Magic here, coming back to the house. All of this, my guys. No Suggs. Cole Anthony come back a little bit rusty. We hopping with it, my guys. Couldn't talk you off of Pacers. My guy, I couldn't talk you off their Wolves first half as well. Like I said, lean Heat trifecta, only thing official, Heat first half. Lean Celtics for me. Lean Hornets as well. I'm looking at the props. I'm not going to go official with those, but I'll be looking at Tyler Hero over points and over threes. Kyle Lowry, not bad boys, but Kyle Lowry over threes as well for him, points. And one more player, Duncan Robinson. My one guy sprinkled on some plus 800. Duncan Robinson, 5 threes and win. We finna get out of here. Lean Mavs first quarter and full game as well. And like I say, lean the Hornets plus a 9. And also lean the Thunder with my guy Shark here, man. We appreciate the hell out of everybody tuning. Don't forget about the Gary Harris and Aaron Gordon props as well. Definitely lean those. We love to do this shit, man. It's NBA talk. We're more passionate about this shit, giving out free picks than you guys, than these guys are getting paid $200,000 a game playing in the NBA, man. The least you could do, hit the like button, subscribe, share it on Twitter as well, Facebook, all that good stuff. We out, my guys. Back tomorrow.